What's up? We're back. It's the B Block, Smartest Guy in My Head podcast, Workhorse Media Group. If you missed the A Block, go check it out. All right, we're talking about storming the Capitol because we lost an election. It's pretty good. Check it out. But here in the B Block, I have to address something that's getting on my last nerve, and it's you. You SEC fan, I'm talking to you because Alabama won their 6th national championship under Nick Saban. Congrats. But you take that moment, SEC fan, to say, man, that's just how the SEC rolls. Is it though? Because from my personal research, it just doesn't seem that way. Now, let me get this out the way. I do think the SEC is the best conference in college football. All right. I could argue for the Big Ten in like 2016 when they had 4 10-win teams. But for the most part, the SEC has been the best. I would take the top 4 SEC teams against anybody else's top 4. No debate. My problem comes in with when you call that conference dominating. I don't see it as dominating. It's top heavy. And if you disagree, here's my personal research. Now, do note that this starts from 2014, all right? The start of the college football playoffs. So that's the era I'm doing my notes in. I didn't go back to 2010 or 03 or nothing like that, all right? This from 2014, so keep that in mind, all right? To begin, the SEC is the only conference that has multiple teams that have registered at least 1 win in the playoffs. All right, that's pretty good. As a matter of fact, it's the only conference to do so. Nobody else has even 2 teams that have registered 1 win, and the SEC has 3 with Alabama, Georgia, and LSU. Also, the SEC is the only team with multiple champions. All right, Alabama, LSU. So don't get me wrong. I think that proves that the SEC is the best. I will get to dominating in just a second. But stay with me here. Riddle me this. If I told you that Kobe Bryant, Lamar Odom, and Kwame Brown combined for 92 points in a game, what would you say? You'd say it's a great group effort, right? What if I told you that was Kobe's 81-point game? All right. So now how impressive of a group effort does that look like now? Probably not impressive at all. Probably not. Take that same energy and apply it to the SEC when you hear that the SEC has the most wins in the college football playoffs with 11, which is true. They have the most. But Alabama has 8 of those 11. That's almost 75% of the wins going to 1 team. But you want to tell me that the whole conference is dominating. It's just not the case. If it were so dominating, then why has no conference, including the SEC, have had more than 1 team make the playoffs more than 1 time? Alabama is the only team out the SEC to make the playoffs more than 1 time, is what I'm getting at. That don't sound like an entire conference is dominating to me. I'm sorry, I could be wrong. Now, maybe you think that if the playoffs were expanded, SEC teams, more different SEC teams would get in, right? Because they must just be chomping at the bit at 5 and 6 when the rankings come out. Well, your buddy, your old pal, Trey, did the research for you. So I went back to 2014 and I expanded the playoffs by 2 to include the number 5 team and the number 6 team and give the first and second team a bye. And I counted the different teams that would be in the college football playoffs by conference. And the SEC did expand. All right, they've got 3 teams now, but if we expanded, they would get a grand total of 4. Only 1 more team added. And that 1 team only comes because Texas A&M was sitting at 5 this past year. All right, so 4 teams for the SEC if we include 5 and 6. But watch what happens to the Big Ten. Instead of 2 teams making it from the Big Ten currently, we expanded it. 6 Big Ten teams would be in. If we expanded, it would include Ohio State and Michigan State, who've already made it, but Wisconsin would be in, Iowa would be in, Penn State would have been in, Michigan would have been in. This is not a Big Ten versus SEC debate. I'm not on it. I think the SEC is better. I'm just saying 6 teams, different teams, being invited to the college football playoff from one conference is what I expect from the SEC, not the Big Ten. Currently, the SEC has gotten 3 teams in. Also, the ACC has gotten 3 teams in, and nobody's confusing the ACC with being the best conference in college football. You say 3 teams? Yeah. Clemson, Florida State, Notre Dame. This past year, Notre Dame played a full ACC schedule, played for an ACC title, and got into the playoffs off that schedule. So I'm counting Notre Dame. So the ACC has also gotten the same amount of teams in as the SEC. That's crazy to me. But I'm gonna cut you some slack, SEC fan, because it's not completely your fault. Since 2014, you're constantly told that there are at least 6, 7, maybe even 8 teams in the preseason from the SEC that are worthy of being in the top 25. But did you know that 6 times since 2014, 6 times, there have been at least 6 teams out the SEC ranked in the top 25 in the preseason? But ask me how many teams finish. Ask me if there were even 6 teams that finished the same amount that started the preseason. The final rankings, do you think they had 6 teams? 1 time. 2014, they started with 8, they finished with 7. Every other time, it was below 6, which lets me know that there's probably 1 or 2 overrated teams in the SEC when the season starts. Which brings me to the fact that I said at the beginning, I would take the SEC's top 4 teams. And those are usually the teams that are left after the season has been proven. Not in the preseason, but after they've played the games and proven how good they actually are. Those are the teams that are left. I've been racking my brain trying to come up with kind of an analogy, and I just got it. Check this out. Imagine that Alabama is a college runner, right? A college sprinter. And the rest of the SEC are high school sprinters, right? And the college sprinter challenges a high school sprinter. So they go 1-on-1. Everybody's expecting the college sprinter to win because he's bigger, faster, stronger. He's got more facility to train at, the works. Boom, they take off. Well, the college sprinter wins because he's just faster than the high school sprinter. But in your mind, you say, man, the high school guy kept up with him. Maybe whenever he gets back to kids his own age, he's going to blow them out, right? So the high school sprinter gets back to high school with kids his age, and he goes to the 100-meter dash with them. Boom, takes off. And the high school kid doesn't win. Maybe he comes in second or third or fourth. So instead of you saying, oh man, maybe we overrated just a little bit how fast we thought the high school kid was, you go, well, that must mean all of them are fast. If they kept up with the high school kid that kept up with the college kid, everybody's fast. So everybody deserves a trophy or the praise that they get for what they do. No. It's okay to call somebody overrated. It is what it is. Alabama is the cream of the crop, and a lot of teams want to judge what they do against they want to judge how they're going to turn out against how they do against Alabama, which is fine. You test yourself against the best. But just because you don't get blown out by a lot or don't get blown out by as much as somebody else did, doesn't make you a great team in the whole circle of things, in the entire nation. That means you just got blown out just like somebody else did. Listen, I could be wrong on all of this. You let me know. All right, I live in the heart of the SEC country. I get it. I get it all the time. I don't hate the SEC, right? It's great football. Great players come out of the SEC all the time. I'm just saying, conference ain't as good as you think. All right, that's my time. This is Workhorse Media Group, Smartest Guy in My Head podcast. Like, share, subscribe, comment, engage, and then share again. All right, stay tuned. I'll see you soon.